Hey guys, it's Nick from NOB Solutions again, and today I'm going to show you how to build a Windows Nano Server. What is Windows Nano Server? Recently, Microsoft announced that they are going to release a new product which will be included in Windows Server 2016, which is called NanoServer. Basically, it's a new way to deploy a Windows Server without any GUI. And most of you who are working in the IT sphere will say, well, we already have Windows Server Core. No, it's not a server core. This time they are producing a brand new product which is not going to be the same as the core that we all know from 2008 and 2012. So the new Nano Server will require less memory and disk space. You can see the percentages: 93% lower VHD size, 92% fewer critical updates, and 80% fewer reboots. And for now, with the technical preview 3 of Windows Server 2016, we can implement with the Nano Server 3 major core roles, and that is the HyperV server, the storage server, and the failover cluster. In this video, I'm going to show you from where you can download the Windows Server 2016 Technical Preview 3, which is an ISO file, from where you can download a script that is going to help you to convert the WIM image of the Nano Server to VHD. After that, we are going to install a HyperV feature on Windows 10 machine. Yes, you heard me correct. Windows 10 now offers the feature of installing a HyperV and creating your own virtual machines on your own PC. After that, we are going to use the PowerShell script to configure the Nano Server. I'm going to show you what are the needed commands to use in order for us to fully configure the server. After that, we are going to create a new virtual machine within our Windows 10 installation, and we are going to power up the Nano Server, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So sit back and enjoy. Before we continue with the demonstration, I want to provide you with some tips and tricks that could help you to implement the Nano Server much faster than it took me. If you are going to use a virtual machine like me, for example Windows 10, you need to make sure that that virtual machine has some features enabled that can provide you with the ability to virtualize and start virtual machines within the virtual machine, which is called virtual machine nesting. It depends on the software that you are using, but most of the software provided for virtualization, desktop virtualization, provides that feature. So please try to configure that before starting the other steps. Another tip that I can give you is always run PowerShell script as administrator. Always run the scripts that are provided by Microsoft and me in this video as administrator, and it will save you a lot of time. After that, when we are running the one of the new NanoServer VHD scripts, you are going to see that I have a destination folder, and you need to create that folder before you run the script. If the folder is not there, the script will fail at the end. So basically it will run most of the time, and at the end it will say that this folder does not exist. So please bear in mind that you need to create the folder beforehand. When creating the Nano Server within HyperV, it's always better to use generation 1 because we are using a VHD, and generation 1 is working okay with VHD. So yeah, the next and the final thing that I want to recommend is to run the set item command, because if you want to connect to your Nano Server which is not in a domain, your PowerShell will fail, saying that this is not trusted. So what you need to do is you need to add its IP address to the trusted host list. So let's begin with the demonstration. Okay, so we are going to use my virtual machine Windows 10 that I've installed in my previous video to configure the settings and configure the Windows Nano Server today. If you want to know how I did it, you can check my previous video. You will find it in my channel. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to show you from where you can download the Windows 2016 technical preview tree. That's going to be from the evaluation center of Microsoft. Of course, you'll need to sign in with your Microsoft account and then register about the technical preview 2016 Windows Server, and after that you'll be able to download the ISO copy. The script that I'm going to use to fully configure the WIM image of the NanoServer to VHD is called NanoServer VHD script, and you can basically search it in Google and download it from the TechNet article, which is the first one. I don't recommend using any third-party websites to download the script because I've tested only with Microsoft TechNet and it's working fine. So I've already did that. I've already downloaded the ISO file, and of course what I did is I've added another virtual disk to my Windows 10 machine so I can store the needed files for the Nano Server. So basically here I'm going to store the ISO file, that is the Windows 2016 technical preview tree, and after that I'm going to store the virtual machine here, the virtual disk. So let's start with mounting the ISO file. As soon as you mount the ISO file, you'll be able to see the NanoServer folder within the ISO. So Microsoft decided to add this folder within the installation media, which includes the NanoServer WIM image. So basically what we need to do is we need to use this image to convert to a VHD, and we are going to achieve that using the PowerShell scripts that are included within the package. Of course, with the script that I've told you before, which you are going to download from the TechNet site. Here you'll be able to see some packages which are added by Microsoft, which will help us to fully configure our server. Before we continue with our NanoServer installation, I want to provide you with more information about the packages which are included in the technical preview tree of Windows Server 2016. The first package is the compute, and what it does, it contains the HyperV server role. When you install this package, your NanoServer will be a HyperV server. The second one is the containers package. This is a brand new feature that was introduced by Microsoft in Windows Server 2016, and a lot of people are asking questions about it. So if you have questions and if you are interested in containers, in the future I can make another video and provide some more information about that. The third one is the Defender package, and it includes some anti-malware and anti-virus software which can protect your NanoServer. The fourth one is the failover cluster, which includes the failover clustering role, so your NanoServer can be a part of a failover cluster. The next one is the guest package, which provides us the functionality of building your NanoServer, and it will be a virtual machine. So if you are going to build a virtual machine NanoServer, you will need to include this package. The next one is the OM drivers. Microsoft decided to gather all the needed drivers that are used by the NanoServer and build a package for it. So this one is needed for your NanoServer to work correctly. The next one is the storage package, which includes file server role and other storage features. And the last one is the reverse forwarders package, which is used by applications. So if you're planning to use your NanoServer as an app server, this package is required. After providing you with some information about the packages which are included in this technical preview disk, we can proceed with the NanoServer implementation. Please note that the packages which are included now are different from the ones that Microsoft are going to release with the Nano Server. They want to use this Nano Server as a fully operational server like the full GUI one. So in the future technical previews, I assume they're going to release some additional packages with additional features. So what we need to do next is we need to use the new NanoServer VHD PowerShell script to convert the NanoServer WIM file to a VHD file and later use that VHD file onto our HyperV. That script also includes the packages that we require using the dism command. As you already know, the dism command is used to add some drivers, add software, add additional packages to Windows image files, and after that to deploy them to your network. So if you want to know more about dism, you can search in Google or TechNet about it. So what I did here is I've already created myself with the finished view of the script that I'm going to use to convert my Nano Server. Let me show that to you. Okay, the script is going to use the NanoServer VHD, and in this script it is required for us to specify some additional things, like where is the server ISO file, the server ISO, the Windows Server 2016 technical preview ISO that we already downloaded from the evaluation center. The next one is the DestinationVHD. Here you need to specify where exactly you want to store the NanoServer VHD file and what will be the name of the VHD. Additional things that you can specify is the size of the VHD, if it's going to be a fixed size or dynamically expanding. If you don't specify that, that is going to be assigned generally. So of course this script will create the VHD, but it will create a general VHD. The next step is the computer name. I called that NanoServer 01. The administrator password, you can specify a password that you like, and the packages that I'm going to include. With this NanoServer, I want it to be a HyperV server. I want it to have all the drivers that it needs, and I'm going to set it to be a guest machine. So this is going to be a virtual NanoServer. Additional features that you can specify is an IP address, subnet mask, gateway, and DNS. You can skip that, but in this scenario I'm going to add that. So let me just, before I can execute this script, I need to, because this script is not signed by Microsoft and it's going to fail, so let me try to show you. Run the script. Do you trust? Yes, I trust the script. Let's see. So as I told you guys, the script failed here, and it's basically saying that we need to run this script with elevated permissions in order for the dism command to work. Also, I should warn you, and I should recommend that before running scripts that are not signed by Microsoft, you should enable the execution policy of the script. So let's run another PowerShell module with the administrator permissions. I'm going to copy over the full script information, paste that here, and I'm going to allow this script to run. It's possible that we can run the script without that command, but as I told you, I tried with the other scripts as well, and it's always giving me an error. So you need to set the execution policy of the script to unrestricted. Press enter, and it will basically say that if you set this to unrestricted, some scripts could potentially harm your computer, but I know that this is not going to do so, so I'm going to press yes. After that, I'm going to specify the folder in where I have the new NanoServer VHD script. Press enter. And I'm going to execute the script once again. I'm not going to pause the video, this will take some time, but I'm going to try to explain what are the steps that this script is doing. So let's run the script. Run once. So first, what it's going to do, it's going to create the VHD disk, a blank VHD disk, and it's going to format that, and it's going to partition it, and after that it's going to apply the NanoServer image to the VHD, and of course it's going to make that VHD a bootable VHD, so that after we create the virtual machine we can specify this VHD and it is going to boot normally. Okay, so it's closing the VHD now. It's going to mount that again, and it's going to use the deployment, image servicing and management tool, which is called DISM. First, it's going to process the compute package, which I specified above. That is the HyperV Windows Server role. Okay, the operation completed successfully. After that, it's going to add some additional features for that role. This is the US package. Okay, the next package would be the OM drivers, which includes all the drivers needed by the NanoServer to work properly. So after adding the OM drivers package is done, it's going to finish up by adding the guest package, which would be really fast. Okay, this is done as well. Okay, we are almost done with the script, so let's see if it's going to finish successfully. Okay, it did unmount the VHD. Okay, the process is done. Okay, so now within my folder that I've specified for the VHD is the NanoServer. So you can see that after adding the WIM image and adding two of the role, well actually it's only one role, one drivers package and one guest package, the size of the VHD is around 500 megabytes. So these guys would be the future running server with only 500 megabytes of space used. So you can see that it's a thing that Microsoft tried to implement and to recognize, because their servers were getting bigger and bigger with the features and the roles that were included into them and the desktop visualizations. But this time with this Nano server we'll be able to run it without any concerns of disk space at all. After we are done with the VHD, we can proceed with installing the HyperV feature on my Windows 10 machine. In order for us to do that, you need to go to the control panel, from there to programs, turn Windows features on or off. Okay, in there you will see the HyperV feature, which includes the HyperV management tools and HyperV platform. The HyperV management tools can be used to connect to other HyperV servers in your environment only, and the platform allows you to create your own environment on your computer. So let's enable both, click OK, we will apply the changes, and it's done. It's going to ask us to restart the PC, and it's going to apply the changes, and it's going to reboot twice. So I'm going to pause the video here until my installation is done. After the restarts, my machine is up and running, so I'm going to log in now. After that, I'm going to open the HyperV Manager. In there, you will be able to see your computer listed as a HyperV host, and on it you can create a new virtual machine. You need to name the virtual machine. I'm going to name it NanoServer 01. Note here that it needs to be a generation 1 virtual machine. The generation 2 option will not work with the VHD that we just created. So let's stick with generation 1. Choose to have static memory. It's not going to be connected. And instead of choosing to create a new virtual disk, we are going to use an existing one. We are going to browse and find our VHD, open, next, and finish. And the virtual machine is done. So I'm going to start the virtual machine. It's going to boot up. Please note that it will take some time for the NanoServer on its first boot, but after that it would load up really fast. Okay, let's just close that window, try to reopen that again, connect, and there is your NanoServer. Now, after we have our NanoServer up and running, we can continue with login locally to it. I'm going to use the local administrator account, and the password is the password that we specified in the PowerShell script. Okay, here you can see that we do not have a lot of functionality. The only thing that you can do is check the IP address of the NanoServer, that is the IPv4 address, the IPv6, and the MAC address of the server. So yes, you cannot control the server logging locally to it. In order for you to manage the server, you will need to use some remote tools, and for example, that is PowerShell. So I'm going to show you how you can connect to the NanoServer using PowerShell, but don't forget to, if you are using a HyperV, to add a virtual switch into your HyperV machine, so you can connect the NanoServer with the internal network of the host machine that you are using, so that you'll be able to connect using PowerShell. So now I'm going to open PowerShell as an administrator. Okay, and as the NanoServer is not joined to a domain at the moment, we need to allow and approve our connection with the NanoServer, and that can be achieved by adding the IP address of the NanoServer to the trusted hosts list on your machine, so that it can trust the IP address that we're going to connect, and it will allow the connection. You can do this by using the command set item, after that ws man / localhost, then client, then trusted hosts, and then add the IP address of the NanoServer. It's going to ask you if you want to confirm this change and add this to the trusted hosts. Say yes. And after that, I'm going to make some variables that can help me achieve the PowerShell session much easier. The first variable that I'm going to use is the IP address, and I'm going to add the IP address of the NanoServer. The second variable is going to be the user, and this is going to be the local user, which is the administrator. So in order for us to log in with the local user, we'll have to use the first variable, the IP address, and then /administrator. And after that, we can enter the PowerShell session, computer name, use the IP address variable, after that credentials, and use the user variable. Press enter. It will ask me for the password of the server. Okay, now we are connected to the NanoServer. If you don't believe me, I'll write hostname. There it is, we are on the NanoServer 01. From here you can manage the server, you can change the settings that you pre-configured before, you can create accounts, you can manage the roles that you've installed with the packages, and work with your NanoServer basically. So this concludes our video. I hope that you'll be able to learn something from it and use it into your day-to-day tasks. Thank you very much for viewing, and see you soon!